Hi guys, I'm Eva from the Lifestyle Motherhood blog, Happily Ever After. I'm very excited because this is my very first pregnancy vlog for baby number 3. We're having another baby. So if you don't know me or my family already, we have 2 kids already, a 5-year-old girl and an almost 3-year-old boy. And now I'm pregnant with baby number 3. So it was kind of a surprise. I talk about all of this much more on the blog, but this is a vlog. So we're just gonna get right into it. This is my 12-week pregnancy vlog. And I feel like we have a lot to cover. So I officially announced my pregnancy yesterday, and I'm actually at about 12 and a half weeks or a little more. Actually, maybe, I don't know, almost 13. This is the thing about baby number 3. You're like, how many, what am I? So forgive me if I don't know exactly how many weeks and days and minutes pregnant I am, as much as I would like to. But I feel like there's a lot of catching up to do because I had been keeping this a secret and not sharing, obviously, along every turn, and now I am. So I want to use these vlogs to really connect with you guys about not only kind of the logistics of my pregnancy and how I'm doing and how it's going and everything, but also how I'm feeling. I had a really emotional pregnancy with my second child, with my son, Major. Mostly because I had a miscarriage in between my 2 kids, and I was just basically terrified, and really, I was both terrified and I feel like shut down emotionally for a lot of that pregnancy. And I wish that I'd been doing vlogs and kind of sharing. I actually wrote a bunch of blog posts during that time, but I did not do kind of weekly check-ins. And I feel like as great as they are to share and, hopefully help some other pregnant ladies through what they're going through, I think it's also really important for yourself to just check in with yourself and just take that time to just be honest with yourself about how you're feeling. So anyway, back to my 12 weeks of pregnancy. So last week at 11 weeks, we got all of our genetic testing back, which I had done. Obviously, it's the same genetic pool. My husband and I are having this baby together again. We've done genetic testing with Marlo, but I guess you have to do it every 5 years, supposedly. So we had to do it again. And luckily everything came back great, and the baby is awesome. We also found out what we're having. So I'm going to be sharing that on the blog next week, along with how we found out and the whole little reveal. So that's going to be really exciting. I also wanted to kind of share that this pregnancy overall has been the hardest on me physically. I was extremely sick. So I started feeling sick at 5 weeks pregnant, and then it continued until about 11 weeks. So I've only had really, since 11 weeks where I've been feeling okay, and I haven't had a lot of nausea as an issue. So I'm very thankful to be out of the woods on that one. It was not fun, and it was really hard to keep up with my work responsibilities and my other 2 kids. And it was hard. So I'm feeling much better now. I also am showing not for the amount of pregnant I am. I feel like this is, my 3rd baby, 4th pregnancy. And so I really popped out very quickly, which was fun in some ways, because it's always fun to have that little bump, or at least I think it is fun to have the little bump, but it was really hard to hide, and it's been kind of a challenge since we weren't expecting to have any more kids. I really didn't have any maternity clothes. I definitely don't have any baby gear, but I really hadn't held on to any of the maternity stuff either. So it was about kind of fine-tuning what I needed maternity-wise. One of the first things I needed was jeans. I think I started wearing pregnancy jeans this time because I couldn't wear any of my pants at around super early, 6 weeks or 7 weeks. So I ended up wearing a lot of dresses and then sometimes pregnancy jeans. But yeah, so my stomach, I would say, is like what I was like at maybe 5 months pregnant with my son, my second baby. Cravings. So I have been craving, in my first trimester, I craved a lot of carbs and chips and bagels with butter and things and then also salty. So ramen has been a huge craving for me and still is this week. Noodles of any kind of like Asian flavors, like spicy and that vinegary kind of soy sauce type of taste. I'm like, my mouth is watering thinking about it. So I've been loving that, and that's kind of what I can keep down and love. I've been drinking a lot of seltzer. I have some right here in my Westport Roadie cup. Tons of seltzer, which I was like a seltzer queen with my pregnancy with Major as well. But I haven't had, so then I want to talk about aversions every week. So my other 2 pregnancies, I had really strong aversions to chicken, number 1, of any kind, and salmon. So I actually had such bad aversions to salmon during my first 2 pregnancies that I couldn't even be at a restaurant. Like if someone next to me at the restaurant ordered salmon, I would have to like run to the bathroom to puke, which is not the most convenient. And also salmon's very common. It's not like some bizarre thing to have an aversion to. So that was really inconvenient. I'm not loving chicken this time around either. In fact, this week I got like a soup that had vegetables and then it also had chicken in it, and I actually ended up having to pick out all the chicken pieces because I just was not into it. But salmon is not as bad this time, so that's kind of interesting. I was not expecting that at all. I've had salmon a couple times, and though I'm not like craving it, I have not had that same aversion. And this time, strangely, I've had kind of a beef aversion, not to burgers, of course, I can eat those all day, but like steak or like brisket, or I started noticing it actually for the blog. I made ribs this summer while I was pregnant, and I made them and like they looked so good. And these are ribs I make all the time. The recipes on the blog, and then for some reason, like when they were done, I like didn't want to eat it, and we were trying to take pictures, and my photographer Julia, who knew I was pregnant, obviously was like, "Are you okay?" Because I was like, I don't want to smell this right now. Like, I don't know, it's so weird because obviously I've eaten them a million times. So that's a kind of interesting aversion this time. And then I want to talk about sleep. So I have always had a lot of trouble sleeping during my first trimester, and I did also this time, mostly because like waking up to pee and then not being able to go back to sleep have not been fun. This week though, at 12 weeks, I've noticed that it's gotten a little bit easier. And I haven't been as tired when I wake up, and I don't know, something just kind of shifted, so that has been great. Another thing that I want to touch on is now I want to talk kind of about the emotional part of the week, like how I'm feeling emotionally, because I think that's really important to check in with during your pregnancies. So this week so I had my first meeting with our midwives. So I home birth, and I home birthed my first 2 kids, and I'm home birthing again. The midwives that we used with Major, who I absolutely loved, and just I had the most incredible experience with, they retired last year. And at the time I was like, oh, like great run, like yay guys, like good retiring, yay, because I like didn't think I was having any more babies. And now I'm like, oh, can you please come back? Don't retire. They already retired. So I actually asked them for recommendations, and they think that I'm gonna love these midwives who I have a meeting with tomorrow. So that makes me feel a lot better. Like I think this entire time, just having that as a question mark in the back of my mind, like who's gonna be helping me deliver this baby, has been a real challenge, because I'm a type A person, I'm a planner, that's what makes me feel focused and level. And so having that question mark in the back of my mind has been challenging up until now. So I'm really hoping that I connect with them and that we move forward together and that I feel good about that tomorrow. So that's something that's on my mind. Because obviously with home birth, it's not like with OBGYNs where you have like a zillion options. There aren't that many people that do it, especially who are licensed in Connecticut. So that's been something I've been thinking about. Also, I'm due in March, so I actually haven't announced that yet. And that feels like it's around the corner all of a sudden. Because, now as a blogger, we're basically shooting a holiday already. Not basically, we are. So just knowing, okay, we're shooting holiday, and then on holiday, we're going to be shooting March. It's just kind of surreal. I really can't believe it. So I think knowing that this baby is going to be here pretty soon, and knowing how fast those months go, because having been pregnant twice before, had 2 other babies, that is kind of overwhelming a little bit also. So I'm trying to just take it a day at a time. I think being out in the open about the pregnancy now really helps me kind of slow it down and be able to connect more with it, because, I was kind of pushing it to the side before to get everything done and wasn't really dwelling on it. And now I am. And then I would say the last thing that's on my mind this week is just, we have an ultrasound on Friday that was supposed to be yesterday, but Kyle has been traveling, and so we rescheduled it, obviously, because we both wanted him to be there. And so having to postpone it to the end of the week just to check on the baby and see how they're doing has made me a little bit anxious, because as someone who's had a loss before and found out via ultrasound, it's always kind of a stressful time for us. So I know in my heart that everything's fine, which I did not feel when we had the ultrasound when our baby passed. I kind of knew something was wrong, and then this time I really feel fine. So that's made me feel a lot better. And by the time you guys are seeing this, it's going to be Friday. So I'll make sure that I update you guys. But it's always, after you've had a loss, it's always really hard to just have faith that everything's going to be okay. It's something that you have to really work on when you're pregnant. So I feel like I'm not 100% there yet. And I feel like when I can feel the baby move, I will. And maybe I have a little bit. I've been feeling something going on, but not, like kicks as we know them yet. So I hope that when I'm finally feeling that, it will assuage my fears a little bit and I'll be able to connect with them in there a lot easier. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. That's what's been going on this week. I feel like heading into the 2nd trimester is kind of my favorite part of the pregnancy, and I have a lot of really fun travel and stuff coming up to take advantage of while I still can. So I put a bunch of stuff on the calendar. But yeah, I'm excited. Announcing yesterday made me feel really good and just happy and much more relaxed. So I'm looking forward to sharing more, and I hope you guys like these vlogs. I know maybe they're not that exciting for people who aren't pregnant or interested in pregnancy, and I'm not offended if you don't want to watch them. But if you do want to watch them, this is going to be on a channel that's specifically for motherhood vlogs. My pregnancy vlogs will be on here. My postpartum vlogs will be on here after the baby is born. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you get everything when it comes out and you don't have to wait for the announcements that they're up. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and I hope you like this. And stay tuned for the next one. Okay, bye.